Good evening, Camels, and welcome back. I'm Joshua Davis.
And I'm Abby DeBoer. This is Campbell Now. Campbell is holding in-person graduation ceremonies this semester for the first time since the start of the pandemic. Campbell will celebrate the graduating class of 2021 outdoors at the Barker Lane Stadium. The graduation ceremonies will go from May 6th to May 8th, with a planned ceremony for 2020 graduates on May 9th. The ceremonies at Barker Lane will require ticketed assigned seating with plans of at least 2 tickets per person. All COVID-19 restrictions will be in place and face coverings will be required. More graduation news will be communicated by April 16th, so seniors, keep an eye out for that email.
According to President Joe Biden, 90% of adults in America will be eligible for vaccination by April 19th. According to the White House, 31 states have said they'll open up eligibility to all adults by April 19th. North Carolina begins its vaccinations for anyone 16 years of age and older starting this Wednesday. Currently, the U.S. is recording a 16% increase in its weekly average of daily COVID cases, and the U.S. has been averaging about 2.5 million doses per day.
North Carolina is opening up Group 5 for the vaccination this Wednesday, April 7th, which includes anyone above the age of 16. This will let anyone who has not had a chance to receive a vaccine get one, including college students and upperclassmen high schoolers. The vaccine is free to everyone. Some vaccination places require appointments, so when choosing where to go, make sure you know what type it is. Visit the federal government's COVID-19 website at Health and Human Services to find out more information.
For fully vaccinated people, traveling will soon be safe to enjoy. According to the CDC, fully vaccinated people can travel within the U.S. without getting tested or going to quarantine after. A person is considered fully vaccinated 2 weeks after receiving the last required dose. However, people who are fully vaccinated should still wear a mask, socially distance, and avoid crowds. Individuals who have not been fully vaccinated are still recommended to avoid unnecessary travel.
Under the American Rescue Plan of 2021, President Biden is on board with revamping the student loan forgiveness process. This includes a plan to immediately forgive $10,000 of debt to all current students with loans. Even if $1 billion in debt is canceled, there is still some $1.7 trillion in student debt nationwide. At this time, the Biden administration has yet to produce its plan to Congress to show how this plan would be paid for.
Money Magazine has released its top picks for best student loan refinance services as of this month. Considerations for the top picks include rates as low as 1.89%, no application fees, and low credit score requirements for eligibility. Money's top 3 are Pentagon Federal Credit Union, Laurel Road, and Splash Financial, all for providing the best options for students looking to refinance their current student loans.
A shooting at a house party in Wilmington, North Carolina has left 3 people dead and 4 others injured. The shooting took place near the intersection of 7th and Kidder Streets around midnight Saturday night. The 4 victims are currently stable and recovering at New Hanover Regional Medical Center. The police have not taken anyone into custody, and the motive for the shooting remains unknown.
Several large cargo ships are currently waiting for space to offload their cargo at the port of Los Angeles and Long Beach. Currently, there are 28 ships waiting outside the port, with another 16 ships set to arrive over the next 3 days. About a third of U.S. container imports come through the California ports. The blockage of ships started around October, but there is some hope to clear some of the blockage. Incoming imports are typically the slowest this time of year. The ships are carrying tens of thousands of boxes holding millions of dollars worth of medical equipment, consumer electronics, and other goods.
Amtrak hopes to create a train service that will run from Raleigh and Richmond and also from Asheville and Wilmington. Amtrak plans to use $80 billion from President Joe Biden's $2 trillion infrastructure plan, which still has to pass through Congress. Asheville has not had passenger rail service since 1975. Amtrak CEO believes the federal funding will help in creating jobs for people and improve equity across cities.
TikTok star Addison Rae came out with her first ever debut single called Obsessed. This took social media by storm, and she then performed her new song on Jimmy Fallon and received some love and hate comments. With 78 million followers, this 20-year-old did a clip on the show where she was teaching some of TikTok's most popular dances to Jimmy. Some fans were upset because the choreographers of the dances didn't get credit for their work. Rae quickly addressed it and acknowledged the original creators. We'll take a short break now. Madison and Drew will be back in a minute with sports.
Welcome back, Camels. This is the Campbell Now sports segment. I'm Madison Thompson, and with me is Drew Ellis. As many regular seasons are coming to an end, Campbell Athletics is continuing to come out on top. Many of our sports teams have been doing very well. Softball swept Longwood 6-1 this past weekend. Volleyball swept Radford in 3 sets for both of their matches. Finally, women's soccer won with an overtime goal from Alyssa Novovieski against Winthrop. Keep an eye out for all Campbell teams as postseason play begins in the next few weeks. In other sports news, a lot of crazy games happened in March Madness this past week. Who was your most exciting team to watch this past week, Drew?
My most exciting team was the Stanford Cardinals. The women took down the Arizona Wildcats in a game where they won 54-53. This is the first time that there was a Pac-12 national championship in college basketball, but also it was the first time that this was the third time that these two teams had met this season. It was a really great game to watch. The women did a great job, and congratulations to the Cardinals. Madison, how about you?
My favorite game was the Gonzaga-UCLA game. Gonzaga won in the final seconds off a 3-point buzzer beater. It wasn't just the buzzer beater that was exciting, though. I think UCLA gave Gonzaga their biggest test of the season, and it was a really fun game to watch. This week also had a lot of special performances. Which player impressed you the most, Drew?
I'm going to stick with the women, and I'm going to go with Stanford guard Haley Jones. She pulled off 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 assist in the national championship game. And this is the first time that the Cardinals have won a national championship since '92. So she did a great job pulling off that win. But how about you, Madison? Who did you see as your most impressive player?
My most impressive player was Jalen Suggs for Gonzaga. He scored the buzzer beater in the final seconds to give Gonzaga the opportunity to compete for a national championship title. It takes big-time players to make big-time plays like that, and he has been not only impressive this past game, but the entire tournament. 2 heavyweights are competing for this year's title game. Who do you think will take it all?
I think that the Gonzaga Bulldogs are going to pull it off tonight. This is the first time that they've been in a national championship in a while, and they're looking at an undefeated season. They're led by a high-powered offense, and even though they're facing against Baylor, who has 2 great starting guards in their lineup, I think that the Bulldogs can pull this one off. But Madison, how about you? What do you think?
I'm going to have to agree with you, Drew. I think Gonzaga is going to beat Baylor. I think it's going to be a really close game, but if the UCLA game proved anything for Gonzaga, it wasn't their weaknesses. It's the fact that they are capable of pretty much anything. So I'm really excited, and I think it's going to be a great matchup. That's all the time we have today. Thank you for joining us on Campbell Now. Check us out on social media at Campbell CUTV. Be sure to leave us a like, comment, and share what you think about today's topics. We hope to see you next week, and until then, I'm Madison Thompson.
And I'm Drew Ellis. This is Campbell Now.